Hey, hey, Mama. Welcome back to the Thrive Mama podcast. I am Martina, certified nutrition consultant and holistic health coach, and a mama of two. And I'm so glad you're here. I am here to help busy moms unlock their energy, balance their hormones, and break out of burnout using nutrition as a foundation. On this podcast, we will dive into actionable strategies on nutrition, nervous system healing, and aligning with your cycles with a healthy dose of relatable motherhood thrown in, all designed to help you move past surviving to actually thrive in motherhood. Let's do this. Oh my gosh, Mama, we're back. We are here. We're dropping into this episode. It's going to be a juicy one. It's going to be a little bit of a spicy one, and I am so here for it. Today's episode was actually inspired by my dear friend Marisa LaValette over at Attune and Align. And she recently relaunched her podcast, shared this beautiful episode centered around entrepreneurship and all the things she would never do. And listening to her wisdom come through, I had such a flood of ideas and excitement to share because, man, do I have thoughts about things I would never do in the health and wellness space. And I'm going to share them today. And some of them are going to be a little spiky. So buckle up, baby. We are going in. Before we get into my top 10 things I would never do in the health and wellness space, I have to tell you about my favorite free thing I have ever put together. The Energy Unlocked podcast series is about to drop. By the time you're listening to this, it may be live or it may be in the last day or two of the waitlist. But either way, you need to get on the list for this free podcast journey. This is a 5-part audio series that really breaks down what it takes to unlock our energy and vitality from the inside out. This is not like a nutrition class with like do's and don'ts and the science of food. This is going deep into the roots of like, why are we so fucking exhausted? And what is it going to take to actually unlock our energy? Nourishment, nervous system, cycles, it's all woven in, based in nutrition, but with an actual practical integration piece of what it takes to apply the things you're learning. I'm so excited to share it with you. It's going to be so powerful. And we are weaving in a community feature because I just want to. I love community. I love connecting with you all. It's like my favorite thing. And I found when I put things out in the world and let you just sort of like move through it on your own, I miss that connection. Like, I want to talk to you. I want to talk you through it. I want to guide you through it. I want to support you. I want to hear from you. And so we're putting together a free community group just for the podcast series. So when you sign up for the podcast, you get into this free community group with like daily coaching, bonus resources, community, connection. It's great. So the links are below. This is a limited time series. By the end of July, access will be closed. So make sure you check out the link, either get on the wait list or grab your podcast access code, depending on the timeline of where you're listening, and jump right in to the Energy Unlocked podcast series. I'm not sure when it's going to be coming back, but I know for sure that you don't want to miss it. Okay, so are we buckled up? Are we ready for my top 10 things I would never do in the health and wellness space? Don't do what I wouldn't do. We're going to jump right into them. Number 1, I would never take biohacking advice that has not been studied on cycling, menstruating women. I wouldn't do it. Most studies are centered around either men, or when we include women in the studies, they filter out those having menstrual cycles and only accept women on birth control into the studies. And they do this on purpose because it's really hard to control for the different phases of our cycles and our hormones and our metabolism and how that shifts biohacking, nutrition, all those sort of subtle interactions in the body. It makes sense, and it leaves menstruating women out of the science in a really problematic way. So when we're talking about things like intermittent fasting and cold plunging and keto and the carnivore diet, whatever the health thing is that's going to change your life, we need to filter it through. how does this apply to my menstrual cycle? And if we don't know, we need to find out. Okay. So we're not blindly taking advice that has not been filtered through menstruating or cycling women. That is number one. Number two thing I would never do as a mom who cares about my health is start my morning pouring into others before checking in with myself. And I know morning routines have like some people love them, some people get so ick about them because they're so overdone. I love my morning routine. And this isn't about having like a Pinterest perfect morning routine. This is about checking in with yourself before you check your phone. You check your email, you check in with your kids, you look around your house and see what chores need to be done. You have space to pause and check in with your needs, with your wants, with your intentions for the day. And this can look however you want it to look. Some of my clients do this laying in bed. Some of my clients do what I do, which is go outside with a journal and some oracle or tarot cards and like have a whole moment. Whatever you're doing, you are starting your morning checking in with you first, because I promise once your morning gets going, it leaves the train station and is chugging along, your chance to calibrate your nervous system for the day has sort of passed, and now we're playing catch up. So, the number two thing I would not do is start my morning by checking in with other people or other things before I check in with myself. Number three thing I would never do, and some of you are going to really hate this one, I would never spend money on supplements, powders, or herbs without getting my foundations set first. I know, it's so annoying. We're so tired of being told to drink our water and exercise our bodies and get enough sleep. We're so tired of it. And when we reach for the quick fix, when we reach for the magic pill, when we reach for the new trendy thing, we are bypassing the foundation that we really need because our nervous system is tricking us into thinking that that is like the easy, doable way out. Well, what we actually need to do is expand our nervous system capacity to hold the foundations. I refuse to talk to you about supplements or powders if you're not drinking enough water. We're not going to do it. We're going to start with the foundations. And I know it's annoying. It's also really important. That's number three. Number four thing, I would never do intermittent fasting. And I know some of you love your intermittent fasting. I've heard from you. You're like, it works for me. I love it. I feel amazing. I love that for you. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong. What I am here to say is that intermittent fasting is one of those biohacking things I mentioned that has been mostly studied on men. And the little data that we do have on menstruating women shows that it's probably more harmful than it is helpful. Our hormones and metabolism do not work the same way as the male metabolism and hormones do. And especially if we're coming in from an undernourished, so we're not getting enough vitamins and minerals, or from an overactivated, stressed, overextended kind of place, intermittent fasting is only going to make those two things worse. Again, we need to go back to foundations before we start trying to layer on the fancy hacks. And intermittent fasting is one that I just do not love for anyone having a menstrual cycle. Number five thing I would never do, and you definitely shouldn't do either, feeling guilty about less than perfect food choices. And here's the thing, this comes from a place of devotion to our bodies, but it often gets twisted with this like perfectionist, controlling nature that wants to do everything perfectly and then has deep shame and fear and guilt when things are not what we believe is perfect. And I always tell people that stress is more inflammatory than any ingredient could be, okay? So anytime we start to bring morality into our food choices, this is a good choice. I was really good today. I was so bad this weekend. Or we start feeling guilty because of what we were able to feed ourselves or our families that day, we start to let our perfectionism and our control, our need for control, really get in the way of our intuition and our connection to our body. So, what's much more helpful is to bring awareness to how your food choices make you feel. This is good data to have. So this happens sometimes, like if I'm traveling. I always try to stay pretty prepared, but there are times where we're driving through a remote area, we need to stop somewhere less than ideal, and I'm kind of scrapping together whatever I can. There are meals where I don't get enough protein, or where I know that things were fried in really inflammatory oils, or that dressing, like whatever, right? Like I know that this is not the best food choice for my body. And then rather than feel guilt or shame or stress around that, what we do is stay aware. How did that make my body feel? How did my energy feel an hour, 2 hours later? How did my digestion feel the rest of the day? That's great data. Wow. You know what? My body actually felt okay after that meal. It felt fine. Or, okay, that meal really brought this in for my body. Now I know that for next time and I can use that to keep making choices. So we're sort of collecting data from a neutral place without guilt, shame, or stress. Okay, it's really, really important. Number 6 thing I would never do, and this one's going to be a tough one to swallow. Take antacids, acid blockers, or laxatives. I know. It's a rough one. They really work in the moment, don't they? They really work in the moment. And heartburn and reflux, like it's all miserable, okay? And I don't want you to be miserable. And and laxatives, acid blockers, and antacids are all making the root problem worse for the sake of short-term relief. And we start to get in a cycle of dependency with them because the root problem is not being addressed and is in fact getting worse. Most of the time, heartburn is due to low stomach acid, not high stomach acid, low stomach acid. So when we reduce the acid in the stomach even more, the symptoms temporarily go away, but the next time we eat food, we're at an even lower capacity to digest and process that food, okay? It just starts this like cycle of dependency. Those medications have also been connected to higher rates of leaky gut, of inflammatory diseases, of things like autoimmune diseases and arthritis. Like we need our gut lining in beautiful integrity. And if our body is sending up symptoms, that is information. And we don't just want to like the information like push it down. We want to connect in with it and get curious about it and get to the root cause. So that is one I would never do. All right, number 7 thing I would never do is eat the same thing on repeat week after week, or follow some kind of meal plan or protocol that isn't cyclical. Y'all have heard me talk about it before, but when we pretend like our bodies, our metabolisms, our needs are the same every day, we are setting ourselves up for energetic burnout and hormonal imbalance because our cycles mean that there is a huge shift in how our body works throughout the month. So I would never follow a protocol. Like, let's say we wanted to explore, experiment with like the carnivore diet. Never follow a protocol that dictates the same ratio of foods every day without taking into account your menstrual cycle. It is key, key, key. There are actually times of your menstrual cycle where the carnivore diet, like, I mean, I'm not a fan of the carnivore diet, but would be better than other times. There are times of your menstrual cycle where a more vegan diet would probably feel freaking great. But other times where a vegan diet's going to leave you feeling exhausted and cranky and depleted, like it's not good. So we need to stay tuned in to the needs of our cycle and our body and really honor those needs without eating the same thing every day on repeat. Okay, so we would never follow a weekly meal plan that does not take into account the needs of our cycle. Number 8 thing I would never do: leave the house without grown-up snacks. And I know these moms out here listening are so guilty of this. We pack enough snacks for the freaking apocalypse for our kids and nothing for ourselves. Or we throw like a granola bar in for ourselves, okay? We are not doing that. I would never leave the house without grown-up snacks. I don't care if I'm only going to be gone an hour. I don't care if I just ate. I am having backup snacks in my purse all the time. And I recommend you do too. And this is something, in my programs, we really break down snacking strategies and how to build balanced snacks for energy and lots of snack ideas. But the most important thing is just intentionality, having it with you, because otherwise you're getting stuck in traffic and there's a drive-through right there and you just need something because you're crashing or you're taking the like crumbs from your toddler's snacks because you didn't bring anything for you. Okay, we're done with that. We're not leaving the house without grown-up snacks. Number 9 thing I would never do. This one's a little spiky. I'm a little nervous to say it, but I'm going to say it. I would never trust my primary care doctor when they tell me that my labs are normal. I would not trust it. Would not trust it. And it's not because I don't trust doctors. It's not because I don't trust my doctor. Doctors are incredibly well trained in their area of specialty, which is disease. That is different than being well trained in optimal lab values and in thriving. So when my primary care doctor, who has been, who is in the traditional medical system, calls me and tells me my labs are normal, I would ask for a copy of my labs. I would look at the numbers. I would use my own research or go to some kind of functional practitioner who is trained in optimal thriving to look at them too. Because what I see over and over again with my own labs and my clients is that they are told their numbers are normal. When we dig into it, we can see clear patterns of blood sugar concerns, of hormone imbalances, but because they were in these normal average ranges, they were just like checked off the list. Instead of looking at the nuance, looking at the gray areas, looking at the big picture, looking at where is optimal and where is average, because Lord knows those are two different things. So I would never trust my primary care doctor to tell me that my labs are normal. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't recommend it for you either. And the last thing I would never do, number 10, is not going to shock most of you, but it needs space on this list. I would never drink coffee when I'm tired. And I know that feels a little backwards, but I would never drink coffee when I feel tired. When we feel tired, high levels of caffeine, especially coffee, which is metabolized very quickly, is not what our cells need. And I'll tell you some things I would do if I was feeling really tired. Coffee is not one of them. And to be honest, I'm at a point now where I haven't had any coffee in, I don't know, last time I traveled to Italy. So a year ago. Last time I drank coffee was a year ago, and it was just because I was in Italy, and it's a vibe, it's a thing in Italy. I love their espresso. But other than that, like coffee is not a part of my normal routine. My body does not like it. But even back when it was part of my normal routine, there are times where we are so tired and we reach for more and more coffee. And I really think of it as borrowing future energy. And in the meantime, spiking our blood sugar and adrenaline, cortisol, to the point where we are now alert, but activated. We're like on guard, we're anxious, we're right. Like this is not a calm, grounded energy. And that's really not what most of us need on our tired, sleepy days. What I would do when I feel really tired, rather than reach for coffee, I would uber hydrate and drink lots of minerals, like multiple mineral drinks. I have a free mineral guide on my website you can check out if you want to see some of my mineral drinks that I put together. Drink lots of mineral drinks. I would probably drink like a fresh fruit or veggie juice for really quick, really easily absorbed energy into my cells. I would get outside in the sunshine as much as possible that day. I would eat plenty of like slow burning carbs. Like I would make sweet potatoes, I would make quinoa, I would make black beans, like carbs, but ones that are going to really give me steady fuel. And if I was still really desperate and needed something, I would reach for green tea or matcha. Would not reach for coffee. The caffeine in green tea and matcha is metabolized differently and is not going to leave us as jittery and anxious. So if you enjoy coffee occasionally, just be aware that the more tired you are, the less your body can handle it. And I know that that is a paradox and I know it's hard, but I'm just telling you what I wouldn't do. I would not drink coffee when I'm really tired. I would reach for some of those other things that I just listed first. So, my love, we are keeping it short and sweet today. Those are my 10 things that I would not do. And I'm really curious to hear if any of these are on your list of things you would never do, or if you have questions about any of these and you want me to dive into them more, you can leave a comment below this episode. You can DM me over on Instagram. And as always, if you would like to support this podcast, you can like this episode, you can subscribe to the show, you can rate the show. That is such a huge help as it gets in the hands of more people. I will not be recording an episode next week because we are honoring our cycles over here in the Luio world. And next week is my late luteal phase, which means I'm going to be giving myself extra space to rest, to go inside, to sort of save up my creative energy. And that means no podcast. So we will be back the following week, but you can connect in with the Energy Unlocked podcast in the meantime. That is already out there in the world. Join the waitlist or get your instant access in the link below this video, and I will see you inside the Telegram group. I will see you in the podcast episodes. It is going to be so transformational for the way you relate to energy and health, and I cannot wait to guide you through it. So until we meet again, my love, take beautiful care of yourself.